The impact that we have on our children, positive or negative, you're going to be creating an impact that's either going to help a child grow healthy and strong and believing in themselves or not. It's going to be up to you. Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Frank Iniguez, the ambassador of reading, and today's topic, beautiful topic, it's the impact that you have on children. We're all making an impact, positive impact or negative impact. It's up to you. I'm going to start it out with a story when I was growing up. Well, when my mother and father got together, they had 7 children initially. Later on, my mother remarried and she had 2 more children. And I remember when my father died, I must have been a little baby. I must have been maybe 1.5. And I don't know if I mentioned it in my other videos. However, that's what happened. And I remember my mother was trying to find ways to raise her family. Her husband had died, and back in the day, it was really hard for a woman or a man to raise a family. So my mother found it hard. And I remember she started selling the chickens and the goats and the eggs and everything. And I remember I say it as a joke when I'm presenting to a live audience. I tell the story about my mother selling the goats and the chickens. And when she gets to the pigs, I tell my brother Raul, run, we're next. People laugh. However, laugh at that. However, when my mother did have to leave, she decided to come to the United States from Mexico to find a way to raise all of us. She left us back home in our town with 3 of our aunts. And I remember we were growing up, and I had my godmother. Her name is Lee. Actually, I don't know her name, but mi madrina Licho, my godmother Licho, that's what we called her. And this is my first time I realized it. Anyway, I remember when it was a Christmas, we were growing up, and she showed up with a ball. Maybe, I don't know how much it must have costed. Maybe, I don't know, even if it was 99 cents, it doesn't matter. The impact that she cost. I remember when she brought me the ball, she goes, hi, Mio. And she gave me the ball. And I was like, oh, a ball for me. And I remember my brothers and sisters, wow, you got a ball. And that impacted me so much, it stayed in my brain. Finally, my mother brought us over here to the United States. I grew up, and once in a while, when I go back to my hometown, I go to the flower shop, I order a big bouquet of flowers, and I always go to my madrina, my Nina Licho, and I go, here, madrina, this is for you. And she goes, I remember the first time she asked me, why, mijo, why? And I said, don't you remember you gave me a ball? And that was so impactful for me. I felt like somebody loves me, somebody cares for me, somebody thinks of me. And that goes the same for you. You're going to make an impact on children. What kind of impact? As an aunt or an uncle, a father, a teacher, a friend? What kind of impact are you going to be making on those children? I hope you make a good impact, just like she did to me. Of course, we all have stories. I'm going to focus on those nice stories. So that was my Nina Licho that gave me that ball. Later on, when my mother brought us over to the United States, my very first teacher, Ms. McBrain, she had the most beautiful, very light skin, dark, beautiful black hair. And she was so kind and so patient, so beautiful. I remember looking up to her and saying, you know what, when I grow up, I'm going to be just like her. I thought she was like an angel from another planet. I said, I want to be like her, patient, loving, kind. And that's how I cannot think of any other thing that directed me to want to be a teacher. She was the one that inspired me to be a teacher. And for all the teachers around the world that are watching this, thank you. I think it's more of a calling than a job to be a teacher. I am no longer a teacher, as you probably heard in one of my other videos. I retired at 40. But, you know, thank you to all those teachers that inspire those children to grow up to be what they want to be. Thank you very much, Ms. McBrain. Anyway, after that, I never saw her again, but she inspired me. Later on in life, Cheryl Chang, the lady that invited me to take that seminar, PSI seminar, I don't know what she saw in me. I don't know if she saw that I was not succeeding, or maybe she saw that I was succeeding and I needed a little direction. And she took the time to invite me to that one seminar, PSI, that actually confirmed that I could be a teacher. Because remember, my other videos, one of my other videos, or maybe a couple of them, I told you that initially I didn't graduate from high school. she's the one that directed me. She's the one that said, here, go here, and directed me so that I can have no doubt in my brain that I could be a teacher. Once I attended the seminar, PSI, I had zero doubt that I could be a teacher. No matter what, I would make it. So those are 3 stories so far that, 4 stories with my aunts that raised us. Those ladies were loving, kind, very loving. Oh, and you know, my 3 original aunts that took care of us, they always told us 7, take care of each other, look out for each other, make sure you're there for each other. We grew up, we're still hanging out, now there's 9 of us. We're always looking out for one another as best as we can. Now, one more story that impacts children. I remember now I'm a teacher. I'm not a teacher yet. I'm attending Cal State LA to become a teacher. I met this one young man. He never told me his name. He went by the nickname. He said that his name was Sunshine. He helped me with my book because he gave me the formula for success, and I do thank him in my book. He said, plan, action, attitude, and believe is the formula for success. I put it in my book, and I do thank him. He never gave me other name than that. I remember when I finally got married, I came back. I would visit once in a while because he guided me in that little piece of my life. He gave me so much good advice. Anyway, that's another story. I remember showing up with my wife and my 2 children, Adam and Nicholas, and Adam and Nicholas were playing around, and I go, hey, Sunshine, and those are my kids. And he looked over to me and he says, you don't have good leadership. And I go, what are you talking about, Sunshine? He says, yeah, if you had good leadership, your children would want to hang out with you. They would always want to be around you. And I said, Sunshine, they're children, they're playing. And that stayed in my head. And now that I review my life, there are always children around me. They always want to hang out with me. They want to high-five me. They want to play. They want to hear me tell them stories. They just want to hang out. And I always remember Sunshine. Now back to you. Imagine, what kind of impact are you having on children, positive or negative? Because they're going to remember you or not. They may not want to remember you because you were always yelling and screaming and not being nice. Or they're going to remember that one word, that one gift, that one hug, that one moment where you were listening to them. And they're going to remember that. We are always having an impact on children. In that one class that I teach called the Mastermind, a few years ago, we decided we were going to contribute to building an orphanage in Guatemala. And I don't recall if it was on the radio interview or TV interview. One of the interviews that I had, I remember they asked, why Guatemala? If you were born in Mexico and raised in the United States, why Guatemala? And my answer was very simple. Children belong to all of us. I think anyone in the right mind with a kind heart, I don't think anyone in the world, no matter what or no matter where, could see a child crying and wandering around and just turn its back on that child and pretend nothing's happening. No, I think anyone with the right mind, with the right heart, they're going to make sure that that one child is okay. So my answer was very simple. Children from around the world belong to all of us. And I didn't say it in the Spanish video, but I'll say it here. There's a wonderful author that wrote, it takes a whole village to raise one child. Well, it takes the whole world to make sure that we have better children in this planet. If we pay attention to the kind of impact they're going to have, then check it out. They're going to be growing. They're going to be teenagers and then adults, and with many positive adults around them, looking out, listening to them, having a good impact. They're going to grow up to be great adults. We're going to have a better planet. All right, we're going to leave it at that. I don't know if you feel a little pressured by what I said, that they're going to have an impact. They will have an impact. I hope you feel a little bit of pressure, because I know that when children are around me, I want to be my best. I'm creating an impact in them. You're creating an impact in them as an uncle, as a father, as a friend. We'll leave it at that. Till next time, your friend, the ambassador of reading, Frank Iniguez, wishing you well today and always, knowing that you will find and get what you are looking for.